Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's been a really long time. Today we are going to talk about Colleen Balinger. Not about anything that has to do with the lawsuit, but more about the child G-wording stuff. Now, I'm not going to go into that situation. Obviously it's wrong. I want to talk about women when it comes to putting children in danger, and how as a society, and at least from what I've seen, like growing up and looking around and what I've seen in media and what I've seen in communities, women are always trusted. Like always. Women for the most part are always trusted with children, even if they do really weird things, or if they do things that, is very obviously like child abuse, like, hitting, when you thump a baby on the back, if you hit the child way too hard and the child reacts in a way that's obviously negative, that shows like, hey, you're hurting me. Snatching children away from their mothers. And I don't just mean children, I mean like toddlers, babies, infants, snatching children away from their mothers, being, toxic and abusive and psychologically horrible to mothers with their newborns if these women believe that they're not doing a good enough job. So that's what I wanted to talk about, because that's what I've experienced in my life. I don't have a child. I've seen this happen to other women. I don't have children yet, but hopefully I will soon. But what I wanted to talk about is that when it comes to men harming children, and, I don't want to say the P word, but when it comes to men harming children, we're all about it, right? Even men that are the most harmless, that have never shown any signs of anything towards children, even men that have their own children, that have been great fathers, never had any issues whatsoever. As a society, we're so hyper vigilant about it. But when it comes to women, it's the opposite. Like like I said earlier, we will see women doing things and nothing will be done. I personally know a woman who's older. She's in her early 50s, I believe, at this point. And she's extremely toxic and abusive. And she's an ECE. And if you don't know what that is, that stands for Early Childhood Educator. She works with children. She works in a daycare. I don't think that somebody like her should be around children, which is why I just don't trust daycares. But that's beside the point. This woman, I have seen her take a 6-month-old baby and hit him so hard on the back when he was crying that he was like shocked into silence almost. And it's not a cultural thing where it's like, oh, like some cultures are a little bit rougher with babies than others. Yeah, I completely understand that. But when it comes to the child visibly reacting in a way where it's so obvious that there's something wrong here, that I can't. And that same woman, in another situation, this was at like a party, okay? There's other people here, there's other adults here, there's lots and lots and lots of people here. She snatched a toddler, or actually another woman who she is apparently very close with, snatched a toddler from his mother and was trying to wrestle this toddler and force someone else to take this toddler into their arms while he was crying. The mother was like, maybe 10 feet away. The baby was, he was looking at her, trying to get to her. And surprise, the person she was trying to give the baby to was me. And I love children, but when it comes to a child showing me that, hey, I'm not comfortable with this, I want my mom, I want to go back to my dad, I want my family, I'm not gonna forcefully pick them up when this child's screaming and crying for their mother. But anyway, when that woman was doing that, this other woman, the one that's the ECE, came in and she was trying to help wrangle the child into my arms. And the child was screaming and crying so much that they were both, how do I say this? It took all of their energy to be able to focus on like subduing this child. And I say subdue because they were not trying to calm this child down. They were not trying to placate this child. They weren't trying to be gentle with him. And it just goes to show you how messed up society is. Because after that happened, and by the way, for both instances that I'm mentioning, there was family around, there were other people around, they still continue to allow this child to be around these women. I don't know. From what I understand, the family has money, the dad is wealthy, he could easily hire a nanny, but no. Instead, they want to choose to let the child suffer and allow, you know, these women to treat the child any type of way. And, you know, I've seen this in many older women. I don't know what it, like, obviously it's not all, but what I'm trying to say is, I feel like a lot of the times our children and our infants and our toddlers are in more danger when it comes to some of the older women in their family, because when it comes to older women, even when they have shown that they're violent or abusive towards the child and the child is not comfortable around them, nobody bats an eye, they just let it go. But when it comes to men, uncles, cousins, brothers, dads even, it's like there's almost an immediate change for the entire family. Everybody is now saying this man is, you know, I don't want to say the other P word, but think of the Alien movies. What was the other movie called? That, right? Immediately that man is pegged as that. He's immediately pushed out of like anything that has to do with children. Children are immediately protected, but that's not the same with women. And unfortunately, that just seems to be the case moving forward. And I think that that's what happened with Colleen Balinger. What happened with her, I think, is that these kids obviously trusted her. They idolized her. But when it came to some of the questionable things that she was doing, I feel like a lot of these things just slid under the rug because she was a woman. So all of the things that she's done, just flip it. Put a man in that position instead. Would he still be out here free with the things that have been proven? So this is not like alleged. This is not like, oh, this is a gossip rumor or a toxic gossip train. It's not that. Like, there is proof of the things that she's done. What would happen to a man in her situation? I'm going to leave you with that as food for thought. That's all I wanted to talk about today. Keep yourself safe. Keep your children safe. Watch out for those older women that are always up in your child's business. I'm telling you, there are always problems. There are always problems. And I'm a big Reddit person, so in any Reddit story that I've read where a child has like passed away, it's almost always because of a maternal toxic figure in the family. Almost always. And unfortunately, once the damage is done, it can't be undone when it comes to a child, when it comes to development, let alone a child passing away. If you want to hear that story, then I can definitely go and find it and put it on my channel and tell you guys what I'm talking about. If you want to know the full story about those two instances that I mentioned with that abusive woman, that's an ECE. I can also put that on my channel if you would like. But other than that, I'm going to leave you to it. I'm so sorry I just decided to come on and talk to you guys today like this. I don't think there will be any cuts in this video, but I just really missed posting. I miss talking, and I've gone through a lot over the past I would say like, I don't want to put a number on it. It's been a long time, but thank you so much for watching if you've watched this far, And let me know what you think in the comments if you want to. If you like this video, like it. If you don't, don't. It's totally fine. I'm really, really glad that you're here watching this video, and I'm hoping that maybe you can take something away from it. If you want something a little bit more in depth, let me know. I love to talk. I'm a talker. So yeah, just let me know. I hope you guys have a great day, night, weekend, week, month, whatever it is you are hoping to go well. I hope it goes well for you. Sending lots of love and positivity. Have a great day. Hi, it's editing me. I realized that I did not fully and completely update what happened with that toddler. For any of you that are worrying, the family did move to another country. He seems to be doing really, really well. The family seems to be doing really, really well. They do visit like every so often, and there's certain things that I can't say, and I couldn't intervene in what was happening without there being huge repercussions for me and people that I love, because people that I love are connected to these very toxic people. So if you're wondering, you know, if I ever called the cops, got help, whatever it was, I couldn't without repercussions, severe repercussions to my own life, like permanent change type of repercussions. So that I just couldn't do, especially with all of the trauma that I'd already had at the hands of a certain someone. So no, everybody I believe is like safe now. But from what I know, she is still working as an ECE. And from what I know, at least from what people have told me, who, you know, I question it now, but they say, you know, she's great at her job. She's very particular. And even though I don't believe the people that are saying that, I do believe that she's very careful at her job, because one of the things that she's very, very, very particular about is being able to afford her lifestyle and making money. And, you know, showing people that she has a lot of money. She's, you know, she's a big tip top queen that works as an ECE. Like that is, the ego is massive. Like the ego, I don't even think God has an ego as large as this particular woman does. But if you want to hear those stories, I'm actually thinking about starting a little series more for myself to kind of just share some of the things that have occurred in the time that I haven't been posting, to, you know, just to share, and hopefully other people that are experiencing or have experienced things that I've experienced watch it, and hopefully it helps, because I know that when I was going through all of that, the number one thing that made me lose hope was feeling completely isolated. And I don't want anybody else to feel isolated. If me sharing my story can help, then I would like to do that. It's just, I have to figure out if I'm emotionally and mentally strong enough to record these stories, relive them in detail, and then go through an editing process with them, look at everything in detail. It might be a little triggering for me, but I'm going to try. Thanks for watching.